What's going on, guys? Back again with another informative video, and today I'm giving you guys the science behind arm training. Now let's go ahead and just hop right into this, right? The first thing you're really going to need when it comes to building massive cannons is adequate volume, okay? So when you break things down here, when we're looking back, there's a bunch of studies shown, but there's actually a specific study that I'll put up on the screen here by Schoenfeld in 2019 that shows in trained men, from 6 sets all the way up to 30 sets, they saw significant hypertrophy in the men that were training at 30 working sets per week with arms. So does this mean that you need to go in and say, hey, I need to train 30 sets for arms per week right now? Absolutely not. Take a measurement of where you're at right now. That might be 6, that might be 8, that might be 10. Week over week, add 1 or 2 more sets to every one of those exercises to work yourself up to 12 working sets, 14 working sets, all the way up to 30, right? Now, over time, guys, what you're gonna see is you're gonna feel fatigued, right? Your arms are gonna feel fatigued. You're gonna start hitting a little bit more of a plateau. At that point, you bring the volume back down. I've gone over this many times. It's simple hypertrophy, guys. Now, with something with arms, for example, arms are a smaller muscle group in comparative to something like the legs, the chest, the back, right? So you can get away with higher volume. You can get away with more frequency. You can get away with 30 working sets for muscle group. Do I recommend getting up to 30 working sets for your legs, your chest, your back? Not really. You're gonna see more systemic fatigue more than anything, right? When it comes to training arms, right? It's not like it's a multi-jointed movement, right? It's not a big compound lift. It's not something like barbell back squat or barbell bench or a deadlift. It's not gonna fatigue you very much so you have a higher volume threshold when it comes to training arms. So keep in mind that you need to progressively add more and more sets over time if you want to grow your arms. So guys, if you really want to prioritize your arms, I'm gonna tell you this. If you're a beginner watching this video, I do not want you prioritizing arms over your legs, over your chest, over your back, over your shoulders, over any compound movement. Now, if you're someone that's more intermediate and advanced, I'm talking to you right now, you can actually move your arm training to before you start your days. If your arms are something that is 100% lacking, do triceps, then chest, then shoulders on a push day, right? If your arms are completely lacking, do biceps before you hit back. Am I gonna recommend this? Absolutely not. I really don't recommend you do this, but like, by all means you do want to, guys. There are studies that prove, okay, that the workouts that you do, the first couple workouts that you do of every single workout are going to see significant strength gains, significant hypertrophy gains compared to the other ones, because you're fresh, you're not fatigued, you're going to be the strongest in those movements. And that's why primarily, guys, a simple workout structure is going to start out with your compound movers, your squat, your bench, your deadlift, right? Your chest presses, your dumbbell benches, your big both side jointed movers, your hack squat. That's how your workout should start, because they take the most amount of strength, they take the most amount of energy to perform those movements. And that's why we perform arms last, because guys, like, I could be dead tired, run 2 miles and hit an arm day. You know what I mean? It's not something that's fatiguing whatsoever. But if it's an absolute priority for you, you can move it towards the beginning of a workout, the front half of a workout, and you will see more gains over time. Now, again, if you are a beginner, focus on your compound lifts. If you haven't watched my last video on beginner, intermediate, and advanced training, I recommend you go do that, because depending on where you're at from beginner, intermediate, advanced, that's how you're going to define how you should structure your workouts in general. So for example, guys, like, the same applies here for like a push day, right? So if you're really trying to emphasize your shoulders because you feel like your chest is super developed, then do your shoulders first on your push day, right? If you feel like you need to bring up your lats compared to your back thickness, do your vertical pulling before your horizontal pulling on your pull days, right? So make sure that you understand where your weak points are, you know, where your strength points are, and really revolve your training around that. That's why I primarily am doing so much incline pressing before anything on every single push that I have, because I really want to bring up this upper chest more than anything. Now, lastly, guys, don't switch up your workouts all the time, okay? Especially when it comes to arms. You guys are gonna see people do all these creative workouts. You follow Julian Smith, great fucking stuff, right? But if you're going in the gym and wanting to confuse your muscle patterns and do a bunch of different arm workouts, simply because your arms aren't gonna grow, right? When we're in the gym today, very staple movements: incline curl, hammer curl, barbell curl, alternating curl, skull crusher, push down, overhead extension. Like, that's as simple as it can get. Why? Because these workouts work for me. Probably gonna work for you, okay? Probably gonna work for you. So find what movements you do enjoy in the gym, right? And focus on progressing in those, okay? Adding load to the bar, adding more frequency, adding more volume over time, right? Now, if you want to add in more movements to get in more volume, you can. I'm not saying that you can't add in more movements, just don't switch them up a lot, right? Keep them in your program, keep them in your training block for 4, 8, 12 weeks at a time, right? There's no reason for you to be switching up all your different arm workouts after 4 weeks even, guys. For most of my training blocks that I'm doing for Beyond Built right now, in reality, guys, we're doing about the same movement patterns over the course of 12 weeks. Because when someone comes into Beyond Built, they might think that they're more towards an advanced training block, but they've never experienced what it's like to be on proper structure. And the reason why they're hitting PRs, the reason why they're getting stronger week over week over week, month over month, is because they're actually allowing themselves to do the same workouts, track their progress for the first time in their lives through this app, right? If you're interested in getting an actual structured training program through this app, hit the first link in the description, book a call with me, we'll set you up. But understand that it's very important to track and measure the load volume in the gym the same way you track your macros. People think tracking macros comes first. Understand that tracking your volume in the gym is more important when it comes to actual growth. And just to summarize this again, guys, if you are a beginner, don't do what I did. When I was a beginner, I thought this is what I had to do. I would go in the gym, right? I would be in the parking lot and I would drink a protein shake. I was like, damn, if I drink some protein right now before going down, I'm gonna grow. So I did that. I went in there. I thought all I had to do were curls. I didn't even think I needed to train my triceps. I thought that all my arm growth came down to bicep curls and bicep curls and bicep curls, and I literally did them every day. And there's a reason why I'm still, lacking in the chest area. The reason why, for a majority of my training career, my shoulders have always swallowed up my arms, right? Biceps have always swallowed up my triceps, and now I'm starting to really build a symmetrical physique. But don't make that mistake, guys. If you're a beginner, again, focus on your compound lifts. Your arms are still going to grow. Your biceps are being used when you train back. Your triceps are being used when you do any sort of pressing movement. Save the arm training for later in the workout. You're still going to grow. You're still going to see an increased margin of return. Now, if you're someone that's been on optimized structure, you're hitting a plateau and you're like, damn, my arms are just fucking tiny, then follow what I just said in this video. Maybe do more volume, right? Work yourself up to 30 working sets per week. Everyone's different, right? And when I'm talking about arms right now, the same really applies for every single muscle group. So if this helped out, drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and get to growing those arms, baby.